Hi, everybody, and welcome to a brave new episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the man that wakes up every day thinking I should have took the super soldier serum, but then remembers I shouldn't because that's my thing, Kyle Charles, and
And the Knox Lopez family that always gets cut from Marvel movies.
yeah.
CY Chung.
And if you haven't guessed from my little joke at the beginning, we are today going to be reviewing the fifth installment in the Captain America franchise. That's including Falcon and Winter Soldier / Captain America Winter Soldier. Wait, what did I just say? Yeah.
The fifth one though.
Yeah, technically.
Oh yeah, because yeah.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Captain America: Brave New World, featuring the new Captain America, Samuel. I forgot his middle name. I've read this today. Samuel. Something Wilson. Yeah, as Captain America, and yeah, and other people.
Yep.
Yeah.
This movie. Oh, I was gonna. We want to do non-spoilers,
Yeah,
and I was going to reference this film has X character and X character.
Yeah, but then it kind of goes away.
and because it's similar to the previous installment, which also has X character and X character.
Yeah.
Code names. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think? Like if you give a handful of word review on the film.
A very solid movie. Very solid movie. Yeah.
It's got good action.
Yep.
Except for the bits where you can tell it's reshoot, and then you're like,
yeah. You're like, oh, okay. Why?
Yeah. Well, I was intrigued as to what the original version of the story would have been.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you could tell specifically what parts were reshoots and weren't. But I'll just, without delving into the main meat of it, I will just say,
yeah.
When there's a lighting difference.
Oh yeah.
And when the area they're filming is very sparse.
Yeah.
It all seems like those parts seem like reshoots because you know when they have lots of people and stuff moving about and backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, big budget movie. And then when it's none of that, you're like
4 people. You're like,
Yeah. Rush job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. Oh.
Yeah, and our boy Seth Rollins got cut off the film.
Yeah, which is kind of
unless you want to see Seth Rollins' eyebrows.
Oh, was he one?
No, he wasn't. It wasn't the dude in the balaclava. It just happened to be. They were saying, "Oh, maybe he's still in the film." He's like, "Nah, I'm 100% not." Maybe they thought this guy in the balaclava was going to unveil himself as Seth Rollins, even though he got straight cut.
Yeah, because I remember seeing pictures of him in the film, and he was actually like in like an actual costume.
He had 80s rocker hair.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was like, he couldn't have been cut because when you see, not even a spoiler, the serpents in it, or the Serpent Society, they look like nothing like from what the picture you saw before. So like, that's probably he got cut then before that. So
yeah, and I did see the picture of Rosa Salazar as Diamondback, and they gave her a pink wig.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that doesn't. It doesn't look like it fits well. They should have just kind of dyed the tips of her hair or give her pink highlights rather than
modernized it rather than like.
Yeah, well, no, if she fully dyed her hair pink, that's different, right?
Yeah.
But when they put something on her which doesn't look like it's fits right, then you're like, because it stands out too much as pure pink rather than if you had dyed pink hair and you got darker roots, then it still looks like it's your actual hair.
Yeah, which would make more sense, but.
Yeah, who knows why they were cut out of the film, but yeah.
Unless one bit they're like, this doesn't make sense, and they got rid of anything I could think of.
Yeah, but then if they did reshoots anyways,
yeah, I don't know.
Some of the parts still don't. Okay, most of this movie does make sense.
Yeah.
Some of the reshoot bits, I guess, were there to fill in the gaps when they were editing, and they thought. But then some bits, I'm like, where were you going with that? Because it just seemed like you reshot to specifically get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Because there's something you needed to patch, you know?
Yeah.
But you didn't know where you were going in that direction to begin with. You're just like, we've got to.
Yeah, we've got to get rid of. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. As we're going through it, I'll probably point out to bits and saying, where did you think this was going? Because it looked like this was reshoot bit, and it didn't quite. But I think there was some there were some things they built towards,
Yep.
which I thought they should have pulled off,
Yeah.
but they didn't go in that direction.
Okay.
Which was then I'm wondering, okay.
Okay, when we get to more, you can explain, because I don't know.
Yeah.
I just saw that. Okay, like I know it's like one of the weird criticisms I don't get is people say the film doesn't make sense, but I'm like,
No,
it's a very straightforward film. There's nothing like where you're like, hey, this doesn't make sense. I mean, like, unless
you're going to say the leader's plan.
Someone's plan.
the person who's in lead of the villains.
Yeah.
His plan doesn't make sense. But then you're like, well, no, his plan
does make sense.
It makes
it's like it's a bit construed and stuff. But yeah. It's a bit construed and stuff, but that's like any movie, like most movies anyway. Like
and maybe it was a bit more over the top than it needs to be or whatever, right? Maybe he was like indirect a bit too much, but he had a goal at least.
Yeah, he had a goal at the end. Yeah, so it's not like it's like made up, and then like, hey, this all kind of makes sense at the end. No, like no. Yeah. But overall, like, what did you think of Anthony Mackie as Captain America?
Yeah, I think, look, you go in there expecting him to be playing the Sam Wilson character, which he does, right?
Yeah.
And he when he was needed to be serious, he was serious. When he was consistent with his character to cut some wisecracks and stuff like that. Yeah. I thought he was able to he could carry the movie. Well, he carried his part of the movie, and it is a Captain America movie, so he was the headliner, so he needs to carry most of it. Yeah, and I thought he did a good job.
Yeah,
it wasn't like if they had like more people from more characters, then you'd be like, okay, they're buffering him.
Yeah,
because you can make it more of a spectacle. Like if it was Captain America and this was more Captain America Civil War, then you'd be like, maybe they don't have that much faith in Anthony Mackie as the lead because they've got everyone else there.
Yeah, but no, he did like. I felt like he encapsulated like what Captain America should be, like someone who can inspire people, because he did that and plus he did that well, and then he also how they like done a lot of like he has self-doubt in himself, which someone like that would, like, you know, you're living up to Steve Rogers' shadow. Like.
If you was following Captain America, if you were following Steve Rogers, well, we seen Falcon and Winter Soldier. You know what happens on the other side of the equation.
Yeah. So so that's I liked it. Like he was good. The supporting cast was pretty good.
Harrison Ford was
Harrison. Yeah.
You know what? I'd say for what I was expecting he might do, he was actually really good.
Yeah.
I'd say that in the sense of he could have just took his payday and be like,
he could have phoned it in. Really, he literally could have phoned it in. But no, he could have done Anthony Hopkins. Is it Anthony Hopkins? Who's the guy who plays Odin? Yeah,
Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, like him. He kind of phoned it in, but he's still good at phoning it in. But Harrison Ford could have literally just.
Anthony Hopkins, when he wants to, as in the scene where he's talking to Thor and Loki.
Yeah.
On the island or whatever. He's going to fade away. Yeah, that was something. Yeah. And then when he was acting as Loki pretending to be Odin, that was it. But then other time, Thor 2, he's just like, I'm just going to use my screen charisma and gravitas.
Yeah.
To help pull me through.
And then in 4-1, he just sleeps.
Literally
just sleeps like night.
Sleepwalk through the film.
80% of the movie is like, I'm going into a coma because, and then just like there, you're like, oh.
Yeah. Speaking of Harrison Ford, the trailers gave away too much of what is going on in that film.
Yeah.
And it would have been much better, even though me and you, we know the law, so we'd be like, that's what
happens. Yeah.
Well, that's a direction, because if we didn't watch the trailers, we wouldn't know.
No.
But as soon as certain things happening, we'd be like, oh, I clock it, yeah?
Yeah.
But the trailers will make it sound like that's somewhere through the middle part of the movie.
Yeah, then rather than when
and then there's more later on, which there isn't,
Which I kind of like it that way, because I'm like, if they did the thing we're talking about in the middle, being like, why would you? Then kind of where you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm saying they shouldn't have. What the trailers show,
Yeah.
which something is only something that lasts 10 minutes, even, right?
Yeah.
And that's what the suspense build through the film is about.
Yeah.
And the trailers were just like marketing, just like, now we're going to terminate this.
Yeah, and then dun 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 dun, and sorry, I don't know, I just didn't like that. But yeah, but besides that, there's nothing else really. I think I don't really have much complaints about the film. I've seen people say it's like the worst.
No,
I'm like, no,
that's a bit much. That's a bit much of an exaggeration.
Yeah, that's like, you don't really know the source material, and you're just jumping on bandwagons. Yeah, because like, I personally would say Eternals is probably not the worst, but it's not the greatest of. Actually, I don't think it was the worst one. It's just terrible.
Eternals is a drag because it tries to be more self-important than it actually is.
Yeah, because then nothing really comes of it. Even though that's reason why I mentioned Eternals is because there's a reference to
this film is a sequel to that, sequel to Incredible Hulk, a sequel to Captain America, a sequel to Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it's bringing up those films plus trying to make Eternals somewhat relevant now. Like,
I don't. As far as not using a Captain America villain as the man behind the man or whatever character, you're like, I'm fine with that for this, because first of all, how many Falcon villains do you know? None.
I know 2, but 2 of them you can't use for really racial.
Are they bird-like villains as well?
No. One's Dr. Mindbubble.
Okay.
And Iron Nail, and they're both kind of to do with things that will be seen as controversial now, even though these characters were made in
Are we talking Snap Wilson?
One kind of leans to a weird Chinese stereotype. That's the Iron Nail, if I remember correctly, and Dr. Mindbubble has something to do with that, and it's another again to do with weird.
Okay, yeah. But you're thinking what they could just grab a couple of Captain America villains. Other Captain America villains that haven't been dealing with Steve Rogers right at the moment.
I'm trying to think
who but it's fine. It's these villains make sense for this movie.
Yeah. Especially the way they go with it. Yeah.
And they need to tie up some things that they've kind of left behind for a while.
Yeah. For a while.
Also, it's kind of a reset and refresh for the new version of Captain America, which is Sam Wilson,
and kind of the new Marvel going forward. Yeah,
I think it could have, depending on the direction they wanted to go in, because if you're going that way and you're like, let's set up this, right? Yeah. Then you need to push that a bit more. If they're saying that the new Avengers movie will start filming next year.
Yeah.
You need to start giving the audience an idea of what's to come.
Yeah.
And this is I want to say this is a street level movie, which it isn't, but it's not global.
It's not global threat. Well,
it's not to that. It's not to that where you're gonna have a multiversal crossovers and stuff like that. If it was the Marvels and it was cosmic, then you'd be like, all right, kind of.
It's kind of down to real world sort of issues in a way, because it deals with okay.
But not quite. Not quite. Because, because we're not actual controversy to start when we're talking about.
Yeah.
Ooh. Exactly. We'll just get that line. Marvel was just like, well, we've already filmed it. It's coming out.
Should we? Yeah. I think it's all right. All right. Should we move on to spoilers then? So spoiler time, I guess. So should we just go through and then spoil as we're going through?
Yeah.
It's not really in depth because I didn't write notes in the cinema. But so it starts with us meeting the kind of the villains of the movie, isn't it? In a way. Well, not villains of the movie. The the introduction villains that most of these films have. Like
Yeah. The mercenaries, yeah.
Yeah. Or the Serpent Society. I think it's called the Serpents in this. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't. By the way, I don't know how much of a society this version is because it just seems a bunch of mercenaries.
Yeah.
And when I say mercenaries, I mean like they got the standard tack gear and stuff like that. Nothing that signifies them as
Yeah, we're a cult as well, sort of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. No, we're just people that call ourselves the Serpent Society rather than.
I think that's one of the, because I noticed they didn't actually call them the Serpent Society, just call them the Serpent. So I guess then that was included in their reshoots and stuff. That they just cut the names of serpents to make it make more sense than the Serpent Society if they're not like weird and super powered.
Well, they didn't need to be. They didn't need to be really.
No,
but it just, so they hold some hostages in a church somewhere.
Yeah.
Because they're in the middle of a deal, but kind of not.
Yeah.
It's the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
And then Captain America's like, well, it's time to drop down, boys.
Yeah. So then
my friend who was watching this, he was like, so Captain America dives down, Batman style, Arkham style, right?
Yeah.
The shockwave. So he lands.
Yeah.
And then my friend's like, if you come down that fast, when he injure himself.
Yeah.
And then he does they do the vibranium shockwave, and he's like, why does this suit have that? Right? You can imagine how puzzled he was in the cinema. I go, huh?
Yeah, like, well.
And then he's like to me, what? And I said, oh, vibranium suit. He goes, all right. And then 2 seconds later, they're like, oh, how does Cap's suit do that? And he goes, and then Torres says, oh yeah, here's a vibranium suit from Wakanda. And he's like,
just wait a second. Wait an extra second, you'd have found out.
Like, but where I was going with it was like, this movie does explain stuff to you if you've missed out.
Yeah.
Like all these movies do.
Yeah.
Well, to a certain degree, because then you get more if you get it. But at times you're like, just wait a second, they'll probably fill you in, or if it's not a plot point that's meant to be unveiled right away.
Yeah.
Late in the film, hopefully.
Yeah.
They
will kind of drip feed it too. Yeah.
Yeah. So he beats up some lower tier mercenaries through the church. Then he's got to chase Carlo Espinosa.
Yeah. What was his name?
But that's his actual name. I don't remember his character name.
Sidewinder.
And he's like, nah, latest boy, gets out, right? Well, Captain America then fights a big thug.
Yeah.
Right? Which I was like, this entire lot, well, everything that Carlo is in is a reshoot. And I think they were saying something about wanting to add more fisticuff fight scenes, right?
Yeah.
So Anthony Mackie's stunt double, right? But Captain America is fighting a bigger burly guy, right? And he's the fight is not as smooth as when he was fighting GSP.
Yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. But that's because I'm like, look, they're in a confined area. They got small budget. You got to get through this thing quickly, you know.
Yeah.
We know Scott Adkins could do good fight scenes, but in his movies, he's got to do it on a tight deadline. So sometimes you don't get to see the choreography skill. So I'm sure, as if they had to choreograph some Captain America, Winter Soldier, or whatever, they could have done a better job if they had more time. But they really just kind of be like, we got to get this done in a certain way because we haven't got the time. You know?
I saw it as Sam, obviously not as good as a fighter as Steve Rogers. That's why that's why it looked the way it looked, because he's not.
But even when he was fighting George St. Pierre in the last episode of Falcon Winter Soldier, it was a bit more spectacle to the fight.
Oh yeah.
Straight up, he got picked up and powerbombed. I'm like, okay.
Cool.
All right, that wasn't no assisted Batista powerbomb where you're pushing against the thighs to get. No, that guy lifted him.
Lifted him. Like, oh, cool.
Yeah. Threw him, dropped him into in the church chairs, wooden thingamajigs, and be like, yeah, I heard a rib pop, and I'm like,
ooh.
But you're wearing vibranium armor.
Yeah, well.
And then he's fine. And then the guy pulls out his knife blades like he's from the Raid 2, yeah?
Yeah.
And he slices the Captain America suit, and I'm like, huh?
But I think his suit is not. I think it's later vibranium. I don't think it's actually vibranium.
Well, from the cut where the cloth was,
yeah,
the upper layer, I assume there's inner lining of vibranium,
Yeah.
and then the outer lining is cloth.
Yeah,
or whatever the material.
rather than it's not like the what's his name suit, like Black Panther suit, like that's
yeah, where it's got crisscrosses all over the place, and that stuff. The proper weave.
Yeah, because I know his wings are infused with vibranium. Well, I know it's not full vibranium, but yeah.
Well, yeah. We actually, they didn't say how much of it is, whatever, right? Yeah. But I thought it was leading to something, and we'll get to something at that point, right? But yes, and then by the way, I did like this fight because it did make sense. I was only criticizing why they did it a specific way, because of time constraints. But it's just like Sam Wilson. He's like, yeah, well. He goes to the guy, gets something, he's holding his rib, and he goes, "Look, come man, I ain't got the time for this. I gotta chase some bad guys. So if you could just quickly come over here, The guy does come over here, and Sam breaks his arm.
Yeah, because I thought that was a good thing. Because I thought he was gonna say I could do this all day, harkening back to Steve Rogers, but he's like, I don't have all day. I need stuff to do.
Exactly. I did like it that he went down and not necessarily down and dirty by stuff, but he'd just be like, you know, I'm gonna get past this guy.
Yeah.
He's done me some damage.
Yeah, I need to move on.
You know what? Here we go. No time to mess about.
Yeah. It's like, I like that.
So then he goes off and chases the people in that direction.
Yeah.
And then I think there's other people.
Yeah, he's running to go and chase him. Then he hears the civilians and stuff, and he's like, okay, I need to save the civilians. And then one of the command people is like, no, the pack is more important. It's like, nah, the people are important. See, this is why Captain America or Sam Wilson or Steve Rogers is about the people. Yeah. Then Joaquin, who we met in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe I can do something. He's like, yeah, go get your suit. He goes, of course, I just have that.
It sounds like I knew you've been waiting for this moment. Yeah, okay, you get that Falcon suit, you go.
Yeah.
So but don't engage.
Yeah. So then he Falcons up because he's the new Falcon and chases the guys on the motorbike who's got the secret package that we don't know what it is. Yeah. But then he intercepts them, stops them while Sam saves the hostages.
Yeah. And what is cool is when he, I don't think he clotheslines them with his thing. Oh no, he shoots his electric taser thing at them and stops their bikes. And then he does a landing, and he goes, oh damn, no one's ever seen it. He does a little jinky dance, and I'm like, that guy, that character is enjoying having his moment flying as Falcon.
Yeah, like it felt like.
And he's like, I did a heroic job. Yes,
I did something great. Yeah, you're like, oh bless him.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Which I like. Yeah, I like that interaction. And
Sidewinder, that's his name.
Yeah, Sidewinder.
Yeah. Carlo Espinosa who plays Sidewinder.
Seth Volker, I can't say that properly. / Sidewinder, yeah. And then they meet up with the army people. And they're like, yeah, thanks, Cap, you're great. I said, yeah, you're great too. You don't say this is me elaborating. Like, yeah, you're great too. And he's like, this.
Yeah. Let me point out as well that you get that one bearded soldier, right?
Yeah.
From the reshoots, it looks like, because later on, when I point out where he is, also in this scene, and then not there anymore, and you're like, what was he there in the first place for?
Oh, he's actually someone semi-important, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean like in the MC, in the classic Marvel universe? In the actual 616 universe, not the universe calling itself 616.
No, in the actual, I didn't realize until I just clicked on his name. Like, oh, okay, that's okay. And then Cap's like, this is a bit weird. Why would they do something like this here? And he's like, yeah, it's a bit weird. Okay, kind of keep an eye on this because this doesn't seem right. And then
why would be the meeting point be here, the exchange point, or wherever it is? You're clocking like.
Yeah, this doesn't seem right because it's a bit dodgy anyway because of what happens later.
Yeah,
and then after that,
and where is the buyer? He was like, because they cut and dry and went.
Yeah, or were they even there? You're like, yeah, and then we kind of, I think I might be getting the order events mixed up, and then this is where we see, no, it was before anyway. Thaddeus Thunderbot Ross, running for president and doing these speeches and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then it says
sorry.
5 months later, then all this happens.
Yeah.
And then we find out that Thaddeus Ross has become the president of the United States of America. And he calls... No, sorry, then we go back to the Falcon layer, I'm going to call that place, right? And Sam's like, oh yeah, I'm going to teach you, Joaquin, how to fight, because you don't really know how to fight and stuff, so I'm going to take you to someone who knows a thing or two about fighting.
Well, yeah, because he's an army buddy, he knows how to fight, but he doesn't know how to fight superpowered beings.
Yeah. So
enhanced individuals.
Yeah, so he's like, I'll take you to somewhere, and then...
And Sam's like, well, see, I've got Wakandan tech, so I can fight these people, yeah?
Yeah.
You got my cast-offs, which have nothing other than the standard metal mechanics that the US Army would provide, so...
Yeah, you need to, like, be able to, like, do fights. Oh, you're going to teach me that kick you do? He goes, well, no, maybe later. So, they take him to a fighting camp place that's run by the original, the second Captain America, technically, in their continuity. Yeah.
Well, we don't know how many before or afterwards.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Isaiah Bradley.
But we'll see at the moment the person who's supposed to be the second Captain America.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, you're Isaiah Bradley. You're the guy who basically America used and then threw in prison because we don't want people to know that you were the Captain America.
And then tested on you.
Yeah. For years.
And then did he... So, and he also... No, because they tested on him.
Yep.
And he had to break out his brothers.
Yeah.
Which, aka soldiers.
Yeah.
But also... The black people that would be held as well.
Yeah,
so brothers both ways, right?
Both ways, yeah.
And then they caught him later on.
Yeah.
To use his blood as so they can engineer some more super soldier serum or whatever they wanted to do. And then this is in the Falcon and Winter. This dreary stuff is in Falcon and Winter Soldier, but they kind of skim over it.
So you kind of like get the brief notes. Like, okay, cool, that makes sense.
You get why Isaiah's bitter with them. He's like,
which makes
they
sense.
pardon me, but I don't pardon the stuff they calls me.
Yeah, which is 100% like justified. Yeah, so they meet him, and he starts to try and train.
Well, it's funny as well, by the way. It's like you cause damage to me, and then you pardon me.
Yeah,
what do you mean? You're the people. Yeah, the other people.
You guys are in the wrong here, but
technically he ain't got not kind of because they falsified his paperwork to pretend he was dead, and that's when so.
And then so before he starts training Joaquin, him and Isaiah Bradley and Sam have a little scuffle, like
training little thing meeting, right?
Yeah.
Where Isaiah's got his tabs. Yeah. And he's got the punching bag and he's just like swinging it like a brute.
Yeah,
and he goes, "Yeah, you got to grab the 3 tabs off me because because that's what you got to try and do, right?"
And you're like, "Oh, okay." So he gets one off of him.
Yeah.
And then something happens, so he can't get the second one. And then he's lying on the floor. He goes, "Come on, you're going." He goes, "Oh, right, I'm coming." And then he gets a phone call like, "I got to take this."
Yeah.
And then this is where he gets a phone call from
Mr. President.
Mr.
President.
Like, yeah.
And then
Mr. President.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I want you to come to the White House, I want to, America's got to see Captain America and the president getting along." And he's like,
"Yeah.
I suppose. I don't really forget what you've done to me, but hey, during the Civil War, but okay, cool." So then he comes out and tells Isaiah and Joaquin about it, and he's like, "But you're coming, Isaiah." And he's like, "Nah, dog, after what they did." He didn't say nah, dog, but he's like, "No, after what they sort of did to me, I don't want to." He's like, "No, that was my only..." I told him, "I'm only going to come if you can come." And he's like, "Okay, cool, we'll get you a suit." So then that's all happening. And then we see them in their little montage going to the White House, and, they're all mingling with the other leaders of the free world,
Yeah. And, I like this as well because it kind of, I know Isaiah's currently a grouchy old man, but they give him some life
Yeah. You can
Some
tell.
sort a moment of happiness, right?
Yeah, before. Yeah. And then Isaiah, when I get in there, Isaiah and Joaquin's like, "Oh, you sure you can trust him?" Like, it's all right. I have someone on the inside to tell me if the president's going the wrong way. Then we got to jump on it. Like, okay, cool, like, sure, whatever. So then they get in there, and then they see the president. He's like, "Oh, Sam, I need to speak to you privately." They're like, "Okay, cool." So then Isaiah and Joaquin are like, "Yeah," they took a picture. Like, "Oh yeah, send me that
selfies.
picture." Yeah, he's like, "Oh, send me that picture." Like, okay, cool, I'll show you to do it. You know, it's an airdrop. He's like, "What's an airdrop?" And then they look at the phone. A blue flash happens. Like, "Oh, what's that?" Oh, I'm not going to pay attention to that. So then Sam's talking to President Ross, and he's like, "Yeah, I need you to help me restart the Avengers." He's like, "Okay, but what does that mean if we don't see eye to eye?" He goes, "Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there." And he's like, "Well," Sam's like, "Oh, I don't really trust you after, what you did to me during the Civil War. Sorry. Yeah. So what's that place? The Thingy Accords. I forgot what it's called.
It's Sokovia.
Sokovia Accords. Yeah, I don't really agree with that because, I was locked up for quite some time. And because, well, that's kind of water on the bridge. You're like, is it though? Is it though?
Well, it's all right when I do it to you, but when you do it to me,
no. So he's like, okay, cool, all right, we'll see. I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no. So he's like, okay, cool. I've got a presentation to do. So then, this is in the cinema. When I saw this, I actually swore out loud, like, what? Because it's the thing they introduced. They're like, okay, so all you world leaders, come here. Yeah. So I invited you here today because the celestial, 4 years ago, which just happened, like a hand came out through the sky. I mean, from the bottom of the world, and the head just in the Indian Ocean. Yeah, we've been mining that, and we found this metal called adamantium. And this is where I went, what the? I went, F off. I was like, oh, okay, cool, right, you're doing this. Okay. Don't see what's
that leads me to the bit, by the way, where we were saying earlier, where the guy with the knife slash costume.
Yeah.
And if it was lined with vibranium, what could cut vibranium, could have easily just linked it and said his blades were, because that's what they.
Yeah.
That's the package.
Yeah.
What's to say they didn't take some of it to enhance their blades? Then you would have been like, oh, that makes sense. Except they didn't go that direction.
No,
but
I was like, oh, okay, adamantium. Oh.
You were thinking, all right, now when they're gonna put Wolverine's?
No, I was just thinking like, I get where you're going with this, but then it's a bit late, if you know what I mean, to like.
Unless of course there's going to be some sort of payoff with adamantium later on.
Yeah,
which...
I think it might be not involving Wolverine though, because.
No, I meant in the movie.
No, I didn't think that.
Which there isn't.
No, I didn't think it was. Like, okay, this how to introduce it into the world. Cool. Okay, all right, makes sense. Yeah, so it's like, and Japan have it, and technically it's America's, but we want to share it with the world because those Wakandans, they're greedy. They want to share their vibranium with us. So we're gonna have our own sort of metal. So
and each country is going to have a piece of it. Yeah,
you're like
kind of. But then, when you think about it, how do you divvy it up? Do you do what's the logistics? Does everyone get an equal share? Because some countries are bigger than other countries. But then how can you say, because your country's so big, you get more of it? Because then you can experiment more on it. It's unfair to the other countries which have less to use.
I was like, this is like one of those things. I was like, this is why politics makes no sense to me sometimes. Like, this doesn't. Like, it's not when I'm writing things. Like in general, like, but this doesn't. This is gonna cause more problems than good in a way. Like, Like you just basically said.
What about the lesser the countries that have not as much economics?
Yeah,
they get a share, but then it's what they're gonna be doing with it.
Yeah,
they don't have the money to do anything with it.
Yeah, so that's what I was like. Oh, okay. So then he starts talking about the plan, and then this song starts playing, and then you see Isaiah and a few other soldiers in the hall, like just look up, and then Isaiah takes a gun for one of the Secret Service people, and then tries to shoot Thunderbolt Ross, and obviously it doesn't hit him because he's behind the screen, so it hits the screen. He falls. So then all Secret Service is like, oh, get that guy. Then he starts beating up a lot of them. Then the other mind control soldiers try to start fighting.
Yeah.
Isaiah runs off because he's still like super soldier, so he runs off. And then
Ross's female head of security tries to pull out a gun to actually shoot him down.
Yeah.
And Falcon, Sam Wilson, he grabs a tea tray, throws it, and knocks the gun out of her hand. I was like, oh, that's cool. He's got the Captain America shield skills without the shield.
Yeah, and like,
okay.
And
then another cool bit as well is, like you say, Isaiah just jumps out of the White House window, and he sprints down the street, and Sam Wilson's like, looks out the window, and goes, nah,
and just runs down the stairs. I like that bit. I was like, I like how you did that, because I thought he was gonna do the same thing. Oh, so then he gets chased like halfway down Washington DC, and then he starts to remember, because I think the frequency must have turned off or whatever. So he's like, I don't know where I am. Sam is like, it's fine, just do what they say. He goes, I don't know what's going on. So then they're about to shoot him. Sam's like, no, don't shoot. So then they restrain him, and then because of this, he goes to prison. And Sam's like, no, there's something not right about this, because why would he do this?
And they're like, yeah, because he's beefing on them for all that time that he was that we exposed on him.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, hold on a second.
It's like, okay, but then later, a bit later on, jumps a tiny bit. It sounds like if he wanted him dead, he would have killed him. I mean, like, especially at that range, doesn't make sense.
You know, then if he could have just walked up to the guy and just choked him straight up,
just what of it, crack, and then
nothing
was done. Yeah. So then, Zai gets arrested and taken into another prison, and he's like, Sam, if I go in there, I'm not coming back out. Like, I'm dead. I can't be behind walls anymore. Like, we're gonna get you out. For me, please, just don't do it. And he's like, Sam, don't come back. And then he leaves. And like, this is when he went to prison. And then I'm trying to remember what else. What? And then after this causes President Ross to like be stuck in his bunker, and like, you just had a assassination attempt on you. You should be in hiding. He's like, well, if I look weak, then like, no, but dude, you are like, he died. And he's like, okay, cool. So then he starts taking these pills that we believe is for his heart, because he's old. And then
and by the way, it's foreshadowing because they do it multiple times.
Yeah.
So you like, it's not just one time like it's a mint or anything like that. Because later on it appears more and more times. And you're like, okay, it's not enough to make the audience clock on.
Yeah. You're like, oh, he's not doing well. And then so Sam's like, okay, we need to find out what's going on, because this isn't right. And then we see, is this where he starts getting calls from a mysterious person?
Who's Sam?
No, Thaddeus.
Ross.
Yeah.
I think Sam, is this the bit where, like you say, he's in the bunker. Sam comes in there as he's having his meeting with all the other leaders of the world.
Yeah.
And they're like, Japan, because that supply of adamantium that was stolen was Japan's supply.
Yeah.
And I think Pakistan or somewhere like that.
Yeah, India and France are like, if Japan's not involved in this, we're not going to be involved, and you suck.
Then it's a free fall,
Yeah, and
everyone's coming for it. And then Russ is like, please just wait a couple of days. I could get Japan back, because me and the Prime Minister of Japan, we were soldier buddies. Or something
we go way back. Yeah, and he's like, okay. Then I was looking, I was like, you're at least a good 40 years older than him, but sure. Okay, whatever. Yeah, and then that's what sounds like. There's something more to this, There's something going on. He's like, no, your friend just went rogue, but I'll give you sort of time to maybe figure this out.
Yeah. But not as Captain America.
Not as Captain America.
He can't be seen investigating this sort of thing.
Yeah, because then it shows that he's taking things personal. Also, I've got to mention as well, when Sam went to go and see Isaiah in the prison, he spoke to a guard who's kind of helped him out. And then you see that guard tell, I'm going to call her Saber, because that's her comic book name. The president's head of security, like,
that's
Sam
what
was here.
That's what we called her before.
Yeah. Sam was here. He spoke to him, like, and she's like, "Cool. If it happens again, let me know." And I was like, "Okay." So then she's kind of on their case, like following them about, sort of in the shadows, because she's great at that. And then, Ross. Then after Sam leaves, I think I might be getting this order wrong. That's when the president gets a phone call saying, "Do you like what?" Basically, like egging him on. You're like, "Wait, who's this? This is weird." And then he hangs up, and then the president calls a place we don't know where. He's like, "Oh, are you still looking at the prisoner?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, sure, I'm looking at him as we speak." But the guy's just looking at a wall. You're like,
yeah.
Okay.
Or from what we see is behind the guy's head, so I don't see what he's seeing.
Yeah.
Because it could have been a wall. It could been happened to be the gap in between where he's looking at someone.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like, okay, sure. So then the president's kind of like relaxed a bit, like, okay, well, that's fine. Who feel that guy got away, whoever this guy is. And then Sam goes back to Joaquin and is like, hey, we need to find out. You need to use your hacker skills, sort of thing, to find out something. I can't remember what it was. Like, I did see this.
But oh no, no, Sam is driving down a sparsely.
Oh yeah.
Road, right?
Yeah.
Because there's the reshoots. This is where the reshoots happen.
Yep. Yeah.
And then Sidewinders, you got some crashed, like some cars that stopped in front of him.
Yeah, which was
they were already
odd.
stopped, by the way. Yeah, because they can't have drivers in it if you don't have enough time to actually get the extras to be drivers.
More than that, it's like when you're driving. If he was driving, he's like, okay, why just like these perfectly abandoned cars? Why are they in the middle of the road? That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then someone that comes out starts shooting up the place, and then Sam's like, oh crap, it's that guy. So then they fight for a bit. Sidewinder stabs Sam in his chest and near his hip.
Yeah.
And Sam's like, ow, this hurts, but I'm going to fight you.
Yeah.
So then they fight. And it was a quite a smart fight, because then Sam tricks him by making him chase him into into like a garret, like a scrapyard. And then Sam starts melting a battery, which does a gas, like a fog, so he can't see him. And then Sam gets upper hand, knocks him out.
Yeah, shotgun dropkick.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. And then they call in, not S.H.I.E.L.D., because S.H.I.E.L.D. don't exist anymore. Anyway, the military, and they take Sidewinder in. And then, that's when, after that, Sam comes back to the Falcon house, and he's like, Yeah.
So, but this is another point, because Sam's obviously, he got his rib broken, and now he's got stabbed there. So it's like, is this going to lead to something later on? It doesn't.
No, it's a combo film. It's not going to. Of course.
No, but it's just like, why not have him at 100% if his injury is not going to be story specific? There's no point in having it, you know.
Nah, they do all these films. I mean,
I'm sure you've had. I'm sure you've bruised a rib at some point.
Yeah, and it hurt like hell.
And then you've done some exercise and it came.
Yeah. Even sleeping, it hurt. Like, oh.
Yeah. So what he's saying, that hurt. Yeah, but then he's doing all this Falcon stuff, and it's not.
He's soldiering up because he wants to be like Steve. So that's why I kind of like, okay, cool. You can't show that you're hurt. Yeah. So then he goes, okay, you need to find out where. Oh, I can't remember how to get to this point, but then they're like, I know that place. It's
they used the Sidewinder's phone.
Oh yeah, because you Sidewinder's phone because during the escape in the first bit, Sam put a track or something on. Yeah. And it ends up at some Echo base, and they're like, hey, I know that place. That's where, they keep stuff. So like, okay, cool, we got to break in there. How far is it to North? I think it's North Virginia. I was like, a couple of hours ago. Cool, get your stuff. Like, wait, I'm coming. Like, yeah, but don't do anything stupid. Like, hey, sure.
Yeah. And let me point out here as well. Sam leaves his white Captain America suit.
Yeah.
And takes his blue version.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? At least drop a bit of dialogue saying why you left that version. It is white. It's bright. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could just say something like, "Oh, I'm gonna take the stealth suit."
I kind of thought, I was like, okay, it's kind of because of when it got cut by Simon. It's like, I I don't like that the star is cut. I want to wear a new fancy one. That's how I took it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know.
And
But
also
what
took
we
it
know,
as...
what we really know, is because they want to sell more merchandise.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I saw it. Really. I was like, yeah, no, I just sell more toys. It's cool. Yeah. And then so they make their way to North
The
Virginia.
secret base.
Yeah. And then while this is going on, the president's getting more and more stressed out.
Yeah.
With everything going on and people calling him weak. Yeah.
What was it? Was he's on the plane at this point?
Yes.
Pretending to cycle.
Yeah.
On his fitness bike.
Yeah.
And his aide is saying, "Nah, you didn't do that." He goes, "No, tell him I did this.
Yeah.
Tell him I did this much. Tell the physician I did this much."
I did 5 miles. He's like, okay, I'll tell you you did 3.5. He's like, no, 5. He's like, 4. He's like, okay. Yeah. So he's like, I just go to Japan and smooth this over because this stuff is happening. And
that's when he gets a menacing phone call as well, saying, "Yeah,
take everything away from you." And
yeah, exactly.
Your daughter doesn't love you, but when she finds out how you really are,
and your mum thinks you're ugly.
I was like, when he said, I was like, that's a bit petty. Though. Like, yeah, she's gonna find out how much of a monster you really are. And like, ooh,
yeah.
And then he starts getting his heart stuff again, so he takes more of the pills. Like, this is interesting. Yes, and then we go back to I think and then we see Saber. She's looking over the footage from the night when Isaiah went crazy, and then she notices the flash that I forgot to mention that Sam and Joaquin notice.
Yeah, but I thought, by the way, because she found it so much so close to the time that they found it, I thought they sent it to her.
Yeah,
because I was like, how do these people find the exact same thing within minutes of each other?
Yeah, well, story convenience, isn't it?
Yeah, I know they need to get her from there to there, but just have them send it to her.
I know, but then, yeah, because it would have made more sense in a way, but
yeah.
I just thought, okay, she's working alone, yeah, she's whatever. And then she's like, oh, that's weird. And then she kind of puts 2 and 2 together as well. And then, anyway, that comes
because she's going to that location as well. How does she know about that location? I know she found there's another way she knows about it. But if they use the same information to go over there from the same, from the same source, it's a bit tidier.
Yeah. So then they end up at this Echo base and they're about to go so they park a bit away and okay, cool, we get our stuff, let's go and do what we gotta do. Yeah. So they get to like the gates, like, okay, we got 20 seconds to get from here to here, unlock the door and do this. So we've got to sync our watches because if we get caught by the guards, ugh. So then they get Red Wing to cut the fence, and then they run to the door, unlock it, and then literally with seconds to spare, they had to lock it, get in, and it shuts, so then they get caught. So then this kind of reminded me, like you said, Winter Soldier, when they find the Armanzola base. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they find a prison and like, didn't know this was here. That's weird. So they're looking around and they see lots of pictures of people like Isaiah and some of the guys who got
mind control
and like, this is weird. And
a big fat picture of Thaddeus Ross.
Yeah. You're like, this is a weird sort of shrine to Thaddeus Ross. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so then they do that. And then they get cornered by the bad guy of the the mastermind of the movie. He finally reveals himself, and you find out that it is
Samuel Stearns, aka the leader. Which is good, by the way. What they do is film him from the shadows where you see his eyes are green.
Yeah,
but they don't show you what he looks like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's quite nice actually.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
And like, they're building towards the. I know he's going to be revealed soon, right?
Yeah.
Once he steps out of there, into the light.
Yeah.
But they kind of slowly doing it while he's talking about his master plan.
Yeah. And he's kind of like, he did this because he doesn't give away all the plan. Well, he kind of gives a backstory, like how he got there, like, and
why he's there, and why he hates Thaddeus Ross.
Yeah, it's like,
and then why you two can't do anything about it.
Yeah. So he's like, I got infected. I got some of the gamma blood into me, but instead of giving me strength, it gave me an endless mind, basically. And then instead of helping me out, Ross threw me in prison.
And not only that, then he dosed my brain with more gamma radiation.
Yeah. And then maybe help him create all this stuff for the military. And he's like, hey, you know what? Once I get higher, I'm gonna let you free. And he didn't. So I'm pissed off. You're like, ooh, okay.
Yeah. We worked out a plan to get him there, and now he's still not honouring his end of the deal.
Yeah.
You know what? 2 words for him.
Yep. And then so they go, but you want me to tell him because, and then he calls all the guards, and then I keep on Winter Soldier. Sam and Joaquin, who haven't got their suits or anything, fight the guys off.
Even though Sam does have a shield.
Yeah, he has a shield. That's it. So they fight the guys off.
Do you think, by the way, this whole fight scene is reshoot because it just seemed they like once again confined space and not much bombastic movement, if you know what I mean?
No, I don't know. I don't think it is. I don't think it was because I feel like with the Captain America film, you can't. That's his sort of thing, fighting in confined spaces rather than like the other people where it's like we have superpowers, so we need to have like distance so you can see the powers being used like crap.
I will say as well, funny enough, is when the good guys get tasered, they can withstand it.
Yeah.
Once the bad guys get tasered,
they're down like they're out. Yeah.
All right. But we will argue the electronics reset their neuro whatever because they're in the mind control and that's why they took them out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I let it slide. That's not what they say. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to find my own way to make it work because otherwise, it's just like. It's just the power of the good guys being good guys.
Yeah.
Like in No Time to Die, where James Bond could take 7 gunshots.
Yeah.
And still take out more soldiers, and one soldier just take a graze to the leg, and all of a sudden he's flopped over, bleeding to death.
Yeah, like that doesn't make sense. Yeah. So they dispose of these guys, and then they run down the corridor, and they see more guys. Like, oh Jesus Christ, we got to do more of this.
Yeah.
And then this is where Saber comes and.
Tells them to stand down.
Yeah.
The
she beats these guys up, and then.
Yeah, no, she tells them to stand down, but then because they're mind controlled, they start coming at her.
Yeah. So then they beat them all up, and then if we find out, oh yeah, she's from the Red Room too. You know, she's basically we won't say because of politician things, but the Israeli version of the Black Widow. Yeah.
Oh well, she was a former Black Widow, so.
Yeah.
So. Oh, I will say this later on because they could have went in another direction, which I thought they were going to go in this movie. But that's my own theory and not actually anything to do with the movie.
Yeah.
But they did not do that. Yeah, and then she basically is like, "All right, Wilson, Torres, come. Let's okay, your theory, yep. And Stearns is gone, so let's go and catch him up, right?"
Yeah.
And then the military appear.
Yeah, and then they. Tried to arrest Sam and
she's like, no, they with me. No, please, woman.
Yeah.
We're here to arrest him. And it's like, okay. You know what I mean?
I was like
she's head of security. What you
I was like, bro, she outranked you in every way. I mean, like, who can you
No, it's because we got guns, you know.
Yeah. And then you find out they got mind wiped too. They mind controlled too. So they start shooting at them, they get in their van, drive off.
Yeah.
And then
no, let me clarify what you said there when you said get in the van, driver. No, the soldiers get beat up.
Yeah, the soldiers get beat up.
Sam, Torres, and Saber, they get in their van and drive off.
Yeah.
There was a funny segment where, as they get mind controlled, Sam just turns around to Saber and says, "Unlock me, uncuff me."
Yeah.
Because we're about to get in a fight or something like that. Right?
And
then but between the time that their song is playing and her unlocking him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You would have thought they would have had to kick these guys down first before they unlock because these guys are just gonna get guns up and bam.
Yeah, but no, just no. So then then they get away, and then they decide that okay, we need to go and speak to Sidewinder because.
Well, first of all, because of plot purposes.
Yeah.
But secondly, he has information on who his buyer was.
Yeah.
And surely that's got something to do with this.
Yeah. And then, I think I skipped that a bit. That might be later.
Go on.
Even I'll speak about it anyway. Where Saber goes back to the prison to talk to the other mind control guard, the original mind control guard from the first attack, and the guy who let Sam speak to Isaiah. But when she's going in, you see him shoot all the other mind control guards and then shoot himself. So I don't know if that's before. I can't remember.
I think that's probably at the same time as when Sam goes to Sidewinder and she goes back to
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
She goes to secure Isaiah.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. So then,
Yeah, so this military friend from the bearded white guy from
Dennis
the
Dumpton?
reshoots sounds like, yeah. So can you check something out for me randomly over here elsewhere?
Yeah.
How do you find? No, Sidewinder gives him the information, yeah,
Yeah.
and then Sam's like, all right, to his military friend.
Because because when they're in Stern's lab, he sees the pills and he remembers seeing the presentation. Yeah.
And he's like, can you check out where these are made and what they are, whatever, right? Go to find out the information from me while I deal with the other thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
And then Sidewinder basically just gives away everything. He's like, I would have killed you for free because I'm that guy. But the buyer was never meant to come. Like, he kind of told me to play along and get you there because killing Captain America would be good on my resume, basically what he said. And then he kind of goes, okay, I'll tell you more if you give me a lighter sentence. He goes, okay, cool, I'll see what I can do.
Well, does he bargain when he gets to a street party and goes, no, I can't do that.
No, you're a murderer. I mean, you're a straight up murderer. Can't get a straight up pardon for that. Come on, dude. Yeah. So then that happens. And he reveals... What does he actually reveal to
him? What does he reveal?
I'm saying I don't think he reveals that much.
Yeah. I think... What's he give him? He gives him some key piece of information.
Yeah,
right?
But I can't remember. Can't be that important then. I mean, it can't be that.
It'll probably come back to us. It'll probably come back to us
at some point. Yeah. So then, Sam's like, okay, cool. I don't remember anyway. But then we cut to Thunderbot Ross in Japan talking to the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is first. Then he goes to Sidebar. Yeah, he's talking to the Prime Minister. He goes, "No, dude." He's like, "Okay, that we had nothing to do." He's like, "Okay, sure. So what's this footage? This shows your people taking our stuff." And
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Like, wait, what? And he sees like, "Oh crap, it actually is our people. I can't get out of this one."
And then he's like, he tried to gaslight the president.
Yeah.
The Prime Minister goes, "I don't. After all this time that we were friends, I can't believe that you think I double crossed you like that."
Yeah, and he's like,
"You don't know the information is in
bro.
This is right here.
I just showed you this. You're trying to tell me I didn't see it. What? Wait, maybe I didn't see it. Maybe you're. Yeah." And I was like, "Oh wow, yeah." Dude trying to gaslight him. He's like, "Nah, man. America goes suck an egg." Like, oh, okay.
Even though at that point, well, at that point it's a 50-50 where you're actually thinking, is he that slimy?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, actually, he is innocent.
Yeah, right? That's the thing. You're like, oh, but you have a good track record.
Yeah. At this point, we don't know that he's innocent, though. All we know is that something is going on. We can't quite trust him.
Yeah, because I think it was this guy. He goes, I know the reason why they call you Thunderbolt Ross. Thunderbolt because of something. Like, okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. This is what Sidewinder tells. Yeah, we were hired by the government or something like that.
Yeah,
that's what he says. That's right.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, okay. And then again, the president starts taking more of his pills. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, if I remember correctly now, the president's flying back from Japan, and then they get a call saying that Japan are going are going to start digging up at the celestial bit. So he's like, oh, we can't have that. So then he goes to his...
We can't have other people taking stuff that we want to take.
Yeah. We can't have people taking stuff that doesn't belong to them either.
Yeah.
So then he gets on his naval base, and this is where Sam and Joaquin are like... Sam, Joaquin, and Sabo come and like, yeah, this is what they want to happen. He's like, no, you're wrong. I'm the president.
But what's good is they show Thunderbolt Ross under pressure.
Yeah.
Already at this point.
Yeah.
Leading to.
Yeah.
Something specific, right?
Yeah. And
then the leader.
Yep.
Gets control of the 2 American jet fires.
Yeah.
And then he starts launching missiles at the Japanese.
Yeah.
And then the Japanese are like, well, we ain't gonna stand by and take that.
No.
And then Falcon and Captain America are like, no, we've got to stop them.
Yeah.
Ross, do not escalate.
Yeah, because if you escalate, World War III's happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then.
And then Ross is trying to fight his inner corner to escalate at the same time, be like, I gotta listen to the logic, you know.
And you see him stressed out. Oh, this is crap.
Yeah,
so then we have a real cool aerial scene where Falcon and Winter Soldier, Falcon and Captain America are trying to stop the American ships from shooting bombs at the Japanese naval ships, and
Captain America throwing his shield and blowing up missiles, and then actually using his vibranium armor and running right through some of them.
Yeah. And
then Falcon himself is like, well, I can't do none of that. You know?
I've got bog standard wings. I can't do none of that. So he has to use his like flight skills and like his pew pews.
Yeah. His electronic tanks.
Yeah. So they do pretty good with that. And there's one we get close to near the end of this sort of fight, and Joaquin tries to destroy some of the bombs. He gets 2 of them, but then one of them he hits it too late. So he hit when he shoots it, it explodes, and he gets caught in the impact.
Yeah,
and he basically free falls to Earth. I say from Earth, but into the sea, and Sam's like, I need to go back and save him. Like, no, Sam, you got to destroy the last one because, you know, this is more important. He's like,
This is the one where he does the Solid Snake, I will ride on the missile into the water.
Yeah, which is dope. And then he goes, I'm not leaving him. He's like, okay, we've got evac, like, emergency evac on him now, which is fine. He's like, okay, cool. So then he does what he has to do, finish.
By the way, this is an action team that looked like it had budget, you know. Other than, and when I say this compared to the other ones that have happened, then they're a bit smaller.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I think that those.
Yeah, this was
you could distinguish the reshoots. From the actual film's initial shooting scenes.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then,
but Ross is like had to step out of the war room.
Yeah,
I want to call it the wherever it is.
Yeah.
Because he's like internally, he's like, I can't handle the heat. I can't handle the heat. And then he grabs one of the pipes and it bends and breaks.
Yeah.
And then his clothes start shifting out.
Yeah.
And then Saber comes along and she says, "Sir, are you okay?"
He's like, "Yes." You're like, "Oh, okay, sure, all right."
Yeah. And then she's like, "Oh, sir, no, Captain America's managed to avert the crisis." And he's like, "Great."
Yeah. So he's like, kind of like, down. You're like, "Oh, this is interesting. I wonder what this means." For someone like me who didn't watch the trailers, but
exactly.
But yeah,
so and then he popped some more pills, right?
Yeah.
No, because this is where when he comes out of the war room.
Yeah.
And he wants to pop the pills, and then he kind of because he's
too stressed out, he couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so then that crisis is averted, and then you see Joaquin getting taken to the hospital, getting worked on, and then like we had to restart his heart or something, and then Sam's just watching and looking sad. He was like, he nearly died because of me. And then someone walks in and Sam doesn't see. He goes, "This is private room only, get out." And then someone walks up to him. I can't remember what he says, and he goes, "Buck," and it's Bucky. And then they start, doing their little shtick, like how they're like start off as enemies, now like really good friends. Yeah. And then Bucky says something really like something really emotional, and then Sam's like, "That was good. Did your PR tell you that one?" Yeah, they come to the last bit. I was like, that's a
because he's running to be congressman now.
Yeah. I was like, where did that come from?
Like, we'll find out in Thunderbolts, I guess.
Yeah. In 2 months.
But he was like, so, but you're not Steve Rogers, but that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Like, you showing anyone could be a hero. And like anyone could be a hero if you have vibranium armor.
Yeah. Okay. And I did like the bit when that's like I made reference before when he goes, "I should have took the serum." And it's like, you don't need the serum. You're you. Like Bucky didn't really get a choice to take the serum. That's forced upon him. Steve took it willingly.
I think they should have highlighted some points of why Sam does not need the serum. I know he's a counselor as well. So there's certain other things that if you don't have the brute force ability to do something to try it from a different angle.
Yeah, because I missed out a bit earlier when with the fight with Sidewinder when he goes, Stern told me that you'll try and lecture me into stopping. Like, oh yeah, because that's his thing, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah. And then
and then they're like, I love you, man. He goes, yeah, see you later, bro.
Yeah.
And then as Bucky's leaving, Saber walks in.
Yeah.
Eyes him up like a piece of meat.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is uncomfortable.
I found it kind of funny actually because she was like to Sam, she's single.
Yeah,
he's like he's 9 years old.
He's 110 years old, something like that.
Yeah, I can work with that. And I was like, okay, okay.
Right, that's weird. All right, sure. Yeah, I like that bit. And then Saber's like, yeah, you know, Joaquin be fine. We have kind of more leads on what's going on. We're like, oh, okay. And then this is near the end, isn't it? Come on, right to the
Yeah.
Yeah, because nothing. But then, so then the president is.
Wait, no. Yeah,
so go on. Yeah. So then we see the president in his room and tries to give Betty a call one more time, and then she actually answers. I was like, oh, they do acknowledge Betty exists.
Yeah.
And, they have a conversation like.
But then the second question is Liv Tyler actually going to be in the film?
Yeah. And then it's like, hi, Dad. He's like, hi. Yeah, you know, I'm glad that you kind of see me on TV and stuff. Do you remember we used to go for walks down the cherry orchard and blah blah? Maybe we should do that one time. So yeah, sure, maybe. All right. And he's like, okay, I gotta go. Love you. He says loves you, and she's like, hey, bye, Dad, and hangs up. And he tells like, oh, his life is coming together a bit.
So I thought, by the way, that was going to be all a fake out because
I thought it was going to be
of the mind control and stuff.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
he's talking, but there's no one on the other side.
Yeah,
and he's having that conversation.
That's what I thought. But I was like, okay, and then
and we're only hearing what he thinks he hears.
Yeah, and then he gets another call from Stern again, and he's like, my plan isn't over. You know, I've got you right, just where I want you to be. And he's like,
oh yeah. So just as you mentioned that, because Sam's soldier friends find out where the pills are being made or wherever. Yeah. Some other base, right?
Yeah.
And then as they're going up to the one bearded guy is going up to the one person that interacts with Sam, right? And no one else.
Yeah.
Goes to check out something, right? The leader that plays like a high frequency.
Yeah.
And he walks with his hat.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm just gonna blow your brain up. So
no one's gonna find out. Once I turn this, it's gonna show you. It's gonna give you a heart attack, basically. So people just think you died from a heart attack. He's like, what? And he just does it.
And I was like, is this all reshoot stuff? Because that guy, that soldier, that actor, has only interacted with Sam. So if they, for example, said it's only a part of Sam's vision, no one else knows him. I'm like, I'm not surprised because he only, even though he's actually there, right? And certain things with Samuel Stearns as well, where he's in, and I'm like, but he doesn't interact with.
Yeah, because like there's bits coming up in a bit where I thought the same. Because then, so then we see Stern go to a house of the people he's mind control, and like, oh, I need to use your phone, and then he does a speaker seat. So the guy's like, okay, and he walks in, and he kills the guy, and then kills the wife.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I thought this didn't make any sense to me because, like you said, he was calling Ross torn in.
Yeah.
So I thought, he broke into the house he's going to is Betty's house.
Yeah.
Not that he was going to shoot her.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Something. Yeah, but no.
I was like, there must be some relevance of him going to this house.
Yeah.
No, apparently the only relevance is he's calling from the house to talk.
Yeah.
From about Ross. People watching him on TV on the saying what he needs to say.
Yeah. So then, so he does that, yeah. And then, this is what I might get events mixed up again.
I think this is where Sam's like, what is with you and Samuel Stearns to Thunderbolt Ross?
Yeah. And then this Thunderbolt Ross kind of tells everything like, so basically, I used him as much as I could because I hate gamma-infused people. And then I experimented with some more. He came super smart. He's like, hey, you know what? I think you're good at maths and stuff. You can make us weapons. We've kind of gone through his making us weapons. And we made an agreement like,
You
helped
can
me get
fix
to
my
certain place.
heart.
Yeah, fix my heart. And I was dying. Sam's like, oh, okay, you are like 90 years old, so that makes sense. Yeah, like, so it's like, yeah, I was dying, so he helped me with that, and these pills, blah blah blah. Like, okay, cool.
Oh, and you thought it was a good idea to double cross the guy helping you,
Yeah,
and when he's supplying you with medicine that's life saving.
yeah. It's like, well, you would have done the same thing, Sam, if he was in my shoes. So I'm like, no. Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Well, if I didn't keep him, then he wouldn't make the pills. He was like, "What's?"
Yeah, like,
If I lied to him, right? It's like, what do you think is gonna happen, right?
Yeah, it's like
when he works out.
you put yourself in a situation.
Yeah.
Well, okay, sure, whatever. So then Sam's like, okay, whatever. Well, you need to watch your back because
He's coming for
he's
you.
coming for you. He's like, sure, whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then Sam goes back to visit Joaquin in hospital, and then he's standing in the courtyard, and then he's standing in the courtyard, and then Stern's like, hey, can I talk to you? Like, dude, why'd you come to the most like secure place in America right now? Like, this guy's everywhere. Oh well, I'm gonna tell you some of my plan, and
I'm actually gonna fill in the plot for you because wherever we slice out the of the initial show in editing, we're now gonna put that information back in. So here we go.
Yeah. So then he basically tells him everything. It sounds like, wait, what? Okay.
Yeah.
And he goes,
that
about
dirty, dastardly Thunderbolt Russ.
Yeah, because he brings up the thing about
him.
He brings up the thing about the pills. Sam goes, yeah, I've got someone working on it. He goes, well, and then Stern's like, well, I didn't tell you everything because they are poisonous, but they're full of radiation, and they've been changing him on the molecule level, whatever. And Sam's like, wait, what? And he goes, yeah, well, the world's gonna see Thunderbolt Ross for what he truly is, a monster. Yeah. And then he gets arrested, and sounds like, oh no, I need to get to the White House right away.
Yeah, I thought, by the way, this point, the leader he may not Hulk out, but he'd be not taken down so quickly and easily. Nah, he's just like,
I didn't think that because he's a
wizard. He'd be like, I didn't need to fight.
Yeah,
what's like, this fight? What do you mean? Nah,
because like he's where he wants to be. That's all. Like, okay, he knows what he's doing. Like, he just wants.
I did like, by the way, how they didn't CG his head.
Yeah, it was actually
practical. It was practical.
Yeah,
I think that I probably would have liked it to be a bigger brain or something like a bit more, not over the top, but just something more than the mass that he had in his head, like
Like, I would agree with you to a certain extent. Like, if this wasn't in a Captain America film, say he was in a Hulk film, then I can him a bigger head, whatever. Because
no,
because like in the Captain America film, they try to keep everything sort of like realistic in a way. So like, okay, it's better that way. Like Zola.
I just thought it needed something to show it was a bit more grotesque.
Yeah,
well, like not as necessarily in the comics where his brain is so big that where's the skull?
Which doesn't.
But just something a bit more like a bubbling mass.
Yeah, which was like, okay, that's pretty cool. So then Sam makes his way to Washington D.C. and the president is doing a press conference, trying to talk about what happened in the Indian Ocean with the Celestial and the adamantium and stuff. Yeah. And then he gets asked questions that he can't handle, and then
Samuel Stearns does what Bruce Wayne did to the Penguin.
Yeah,
plays a recording.
Yeah, of him talking to Stern, saying what he did, and he's like, "Wait, what is that? You, President?" He goes, "No, you got to understand. I was dying." And then he can't take the stress. And then he starts mass shifting. He starts ripping off, and then he turns into the Red Hulk.
Yeah, and in the trailer, is like, when were there red versions of him? I'm like, oh my goodness. Because I watched the trailers after and was like, oh, why was that? Why do you need to show what the whole film has been building towards?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they start getting before they start getting torn to pieces because he starts raging out.
Yeah.
Sam gets in there, yeah, and directs him away, even though
Yeah.
he destroys like half of the White House or something on his
Yeah.
first jump or something, and Sam's like, "Let me just move him out of the civilian area
Yeah.
in there." I have a plan because he doesn't reveal the plan, right?
No.
Yeah, and apparently his Wakandan tech wings can throw like Archangel, right? It's got
Yeah, because
metal tip feathers, or whatever.
Yeah,
That can pierce Hulk's skin.
Yeah, because
if they go that fast and that hard, that quick.
Because I know he has it. That's one of the things Falcon has in the comics as well. Yeah.
No, but can they? What I mean is, are they throwing out the strength that can actually? Because they were shooting the Hulk, remember?
Yeah.
As in the movie here, they start shooting Thunderbolt Ross, and the bullets are just bouncing off the skin.
Yeah, or burning because his skin is hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then, yeah, because I like that.
On the question, as you're saying that, in this movie, because we know from the comics, he heats up.
Yeah.
But in this movie, I don't think they show any of that.
They kind of do. When he touches stuff, you see the stuff burning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but they don't signify that the angry he gets, the hotter he gets.
Yeah, because when you think about it, though, I always thought even in the comments like that's stupid, but yeah.
But then
yeah.
You'd assume he'd burn himself out, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what I thought maybe they were going. They're just gonna. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Falcon was just gonna make him get like tire. What's it called? Drain his stamina. In a way, with the chase and whatever.
Yeah.
Because it can only get. But then he's getting angry and angry as well, and it's like he doesn't power up that way, does he?
No. That's what makes him and the Hulk different. Yeah, they're both the powers sort of different. Yeah, which I like rather than just being.
I was questioning myself, but I was like, no, I don't think so. But...
And then
so it's a neat chase sequence where they threw the money at, because this is where the climax of the film is. So it has to be, right?
Yeah.
Falcon gets him to the cherry blossom.
Yeah, thinking
that's really planning to cool him down, right?
Yeah.
Except that it doesn't work. So he's like, well, it looks like it's going to be mano a mano, one-on-one.
Yeah, looks like I'm going to have to fight this guy who eclipses me in strength. Great, yeah.
And he's taking hits to his Wakandan wings.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay, he's building up to one big power surge.
Yeah.
Except he never unleashes it.
He does.
Oh, at the very end of the when all hope is lost, sort of thing, right? I thought, take a couple of things, shoot a couple of bursts back, but no, he just basically turtles up essentially.
Yeah.
Like after they have their tussle, Sam turtles up. He tries to fly away. Hulk grabs his wings to start tearing them apart, and which I thought, okay, how are you going to tear Wakandan wings apart? But I assumed with the combination of heat and strength, because he's melting the metal, except that they don't really show that, but they should have.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I should have said a bit more of that.
And so he tears one of the wings off, and then Sam's like, all right, well, I'm going to have to stab you with my leftover wing.
Yeah.
And just unleash all that purple energy that's been gathered.
Yeah. That'd be dope.
Which, and imagine if he had two of them, by the way.
Yeah.
He did it with just one. Sent himself flying backwards as well.
Yeah.
Buried underneath some rubble. All the military get there. And they're like, tell me I knocked him out. Tell him he's gone to sleep. And they're like, then you hear some rubble lifting, and he's like,
yeah.
And then they're like,
got this again.
Well, what do you do? And it sounds like you guys get out of here because you're gonna get murdered.
Yeah. If I die, it's kind of fine. But if you guys die,
and then he goes over to the Hulk, right? To Red Hulk, and he basically is like, "All right, we're gonna do this."
Yeah.
Sir, look where you are.
Then he kind
and he's like in his head, he's like, because if this doesn't work out, I'm finished. I'm finished for good.
Like, oh, my political career is down the drain now. Oh, let me morph back down.
Yeah. So Red Hulk, cherry blossom flies into his hand, floats into his hand, and he's like, "Oh, yeah," and then he starts doing the Hulk cool down. Yeah, and he's like, "Oh yeah,
the tide's getting low, buddy."
Yeah, I kind of effed up in it, really.
Yeah, and I like how you stand there like, "Oh, I messed up." which I kind of like because you could tell it's him and the Hulk don't share the same mind, sort of thing. Yeah, like I like that rather than him like knowing he was doing the whole time.
Yeah.
So yeah, then so he gets arrested, and that's pretty much.
And then we have the wrap up where Isaiah's taken out of jail. And they're like, "Yep, okay, yep, he was framed. Well, he wasn't framed; he was mind controlled. So that's that."
Yeah. I like
Torres
how when Isaiah goes to hug him, and he's like, "I got some broken ribs and stuff, so don't hug me too much." Like, okay, sorry. I like that bit. Yeah, and give him back his suit, and then we see Joaquin recovering, and I like a little moment with him, Joaquin, when he's like, I want to be just like you, like just a normal dude doing good things.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Not a super soldier or an actual enhanced individual. It's like an ordinary guy. Well, how ordinary you have the wings, but know. And then Falcon's like, Sam's like, you know what? Us ordinary guys, yeah. Let me tell you, how they do the wing flip kick.
Yeah, and I like that. He's like, that's how he does. Yeah, it's like, because I like that moment. Like, yeah, man, they're two normal dudes just bonding. Because like, Captain America, like Steve and Sam could bond, but there's only a certain point you could bond to because like, dude, like is 100 years old and like can run 60 miles per hour. But yeah, so I like that. And then we find out that Isaiah and Saber are good friends because they go to like football games and stuff together. I was like, that's nice. He has a friend. And then we see Sam go into the vault, the raft, sorry.
The raft.
Yeah, with his broken arm and everything. And goes to talk to Ross and goes, yeah, this place, how's the food? He goes, not that great. He goes, yeah, I should know, I've been here. And then Ross is kind of like, he knows he did wrong, so he's like, yeah, I got to do my time here because of what I did, even though technically it wasn't really his fault.
Yeah, he goes, but the treaty, the adamantium treaty, that's the most important thing, right? He goes, Sam's like, yeah, you would be glad to know they still named it after you.
Yeah.
Because of all the good you did up to that point.
Yeah.
And I know there's some things you can't control, but
Yeah.
Be secure in the knowledge that this bit is sorted.
Yeah.
The celestial island bit.
Yeah.
Like,
thank you, Sam. Thank you. And he goes, yeah, by the way, I have a guest for you. And you're like, who could this guest be? So like for a second, like an idiot, I don't know why I thought this. Like, isn't me Bruce Banner? Don't know why I thought that. I was like, Bruce come. Yeah, and then it's Betty, actually by Liv Taylor. He's like, oh yeah, how Dad?
Which,
like,
by the way, they had. So you're looking at it through the backside of where Thunderbolt Ross is.
Yeah.
So like the metal bars go across.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is it actually her? Or did it get a standard because it kind of blocks part of her face?
No, because when she turns a corner, I don't know. I think it probably was her. I don't know. I'm not really.
Oh no, I'm not just saying it. Well, I'm just like, why did they do it like that in such an odd way?
Maybe it was like a last minute thing. Don't know.
Yeah.
So then they start talking, and then Sam leaves. Yeah. And there was.
And then we get post credits.
Yeah.
Where Samuel Stearns is saying to Sam, look, there are other worlds out there which will come and attack you.
Yeah, he goes, I kind of saw that I was going to lose, but then I've seen other ones of you guys, and they're a lot worse, and then what are you going to do when they come? He's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And
then my friend was joking to me about the ending. He should have said a multiverse of threats just to nail it home, right? But he did. He did. I'm like, right there for you. But whatever.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, I kind of get this. Yeah. All right. And then and then said Captain America.
So I think he had good action beats and stuff like that. And I think I don't know where the story was going originally, but you can see where. If I'm watching it again, I'm gonna watch where the reshoots are.
Yeah.
Just to try and work out where they were originally going, or not, or why was something. So it's like, it's a bit odd. Some directions that he took.
Yeah, but other than that, I thought.
Like you say, like you said, Saber.
Yeah.
Is Captain Israeli technically?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I thought they were going to go the route of the captain calls. Like, not necessarily that direction of it, right? But
yeah.
go wrap it up at the end, because that they will have a group.
Yeah.
With to protect Celestial Island, and one from each country, one person from each country, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You get to go in that direction. And also, I know it obviously didn't happen, but I was like, is Henry Cavill going to be Captain Britain? But then I saw, obviously, there were no spoilers.
Yeah.
No one pointing out, oh, there's this guest appearance at the end. So I was like, all right, okay, well, that's that.
Because, like, I don't know how I feel about the Captain Court, because I always thought that was a weird...
Well, they didn't need to introduce it in this film somewhat. I'm just saying they didn't need to do something specifically. You could have just had, like, we are setting up a group. Because then the Captain Israeli, Saber, does make sense in this movie, and you've got Captain America.
Yeah.
And then they're talking about Japan being the holdout. And you could just be like, well, look, if we're doing the treaty, we're doing it because we have to be able to have a group that we trust. You know, you can go in that direction.
Yeah, but... Because I know...
The other thing... Sorry, go on.
Now, because then I know they cut kind of Saber's parts a bit because of the whole political landscape right now. So they've kind of changed bits of her and stuff because of that, which I was like... It's a frictional world, but alright, sure, whatever. I
think they kind of tweaked her into being ex-Black Widow rather than being what they were going to say she was originally.
Yeah. So I found a bit... Okay, sure.
Okay. Which doesn't make a huge difference as far as story goes. No. I thought at some point... Okay, so I thought Isaiah was going to escape jail.
Yeah.
when Thunderbolt Ross hulks out.
Yeah.
And help Sam somewhat at the end.
I didn't think that. I thought...
Well, I was going to say, because they left the Captain America suit there, the other Captain America suit. So I was like, oh, maybe he wears the Captain America, the vibranium, the white Captain America suit, just to help Sam to distract Hulk to get him away from somewhere else, just for a little bit, because...
I feel like, me personally, I feel that that kind of takes away from Sam's victory. Like, you got to prove that he doesn't need a captain, like, have all that sort of stuff to...
Yeah, well, I would say it just wraps up his storyline a little bit, because it's like, you know how you forego being a Captain America, distrust the government, hates Thunderbolt Ross, but he's just like, you know what? I'm going to do what's good for the country.
I don't think he needs that, man. He's like,
after also like being framed as well, so it's just like, you know, or I'm gonna do what's good for Captain America.
Yeah, I suppose.
And actually, was a former Captain America.
Yeah, but I don't need to see it. You know.
Okay.
He had a whole story arc in Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Falcon. So yeah, you know.
Oh, I suppose.
Also, I just realized now, Saber, she's a mutant. You know, just looking
not in this movie. Not in this
movie, yeah. Because
yeah. I wasn't exactly 100% on Stearns' plans. As in, so you just wanted to defame one guy?
Yeah, because that's the guy who ruined his life, isn't it?
I suppose.
Yeah. Because I kind of like that, because it like... I'm kind of like, you know, he's normally like world domination and stuff, like all these sort of plans and all these things. I was just like, his one's like bit like straight revenge for this. I want this guy. People know this guy's a dick.
That's what it's about.
I want people to know this guy's a dick for what he did to me. And I'm like, okay, and it's the president. So
like, you know, cool. Yeah. I was like, it's he's like, okay, this my massive plan is just disguised as a big conspiracy, but really, this guy, what I want to do. What I want to do is spit on one guy. That's all. That's, you know, everything around you that you think is going because of this and the other. Nah. Just
this one guy. You know, I'm gonna cause so much like chaos and everything just to just to show everyone that this one guy's a dick. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I kind of get where you're
coming. I was like, you know what, the level of petty.
Yeah, you got to applaud that level of petty. You know?
I kind of with it, but you got to be even more petty as well at the same time.
You're like, oh.
You got to show that everything you did, all the chaos you caused, all the death you caused, is just because you just wanted to walk up to Thunderbolt Ross and give him an eye poke.
Yeah, just because I didn't like this one man. You're like, oh, okay, that's cool, dude. I guess. Yeah, and then what else is there? Something. Yeah. Besides that, I like that they, like you said, it kind of tied in 3 different films as well. Like it kind of like answered question from 3 other films that's happened. Like, oh, okay, that's that's this. That's okay. Cool. All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
I think it's very solid. It's very it has cool action scenes. Some of the like how they weaved in the reshoots. Yeah, okay. I don't know if they're cohesive.
Yeah,
but it's just one of those things where you're like,
yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah, I wonder. But I wonder if they'll ever say like why those reshoots were done or anything. We'll wait and see.
I wonder what the original. It's very intriguing.
Yeah.
I want to see the alternate original cut or whatever it was. Even if they won't do that, even the original script or something.
Something like that to get leaked or something, so we can kind of know, like, oh, okay, cool, that makes
sense. Or
yeah.
someone come out with like a YouTube video saying, "Oh, this is the original idea for it," because they spent so much money on all that stuff.
Yeah. So
and they put the merch out as well.
Yeah. Well,
the McDonald's merch, which also had Red Hulk.
Yeah.
But, you know.
It spoiled everything. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, you know what? If the Red Hulk was in towards the middle of the movie, and they're not going to reveal, if you're going to market around him, there's got to be something else.
Yeah.
That's beyond that.
Yeah. But then I feel as well, if the Red Hulk was in the movie, then you kind of in the middle, say he came in the middle of the movie, then you got kind of explain how he gets back to that point. Like you couldn't do him on a run to the end of the film. Like it's that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or unless Thunderbolt Ross was in on it, like in the comics where he turns himself into the Red Hulk. Yeah. But then,
unless of course when they arrest him in the raft, there's a second Hulk out.
Yeah. Well,
While Stearns is in there as well, so he could be causing that. And it's then all that plan where the villain's like, I deliberately went to get caught without giving up a fight, right?
Yeah, Loki.
Yeah. But then at least it makes sense because now he's with Thunderbolt Ross and he's going to cause that something else in the raft, another another chaotic moment to disguise something else.
Yeah,
because apparently percentages, right? Except that didn't quite work out that way.
No. But
you know,
it is what it is.
Yeah. Look, it was. I feel like I'm gonna say I was middling or everything like that, but no, it's above average.
Yeah. It's above average.
It's not as good as it should have been for the level of film that I think the impact they wanted it to have.
Yeah,
especially since as well when they're talking about other bits. Where I was saying, I know you saying about the capital calls, but if they're talking about if Thunderbolt Ross is saying to Sam, "Oh, I need you to lead the new Avengers," right, or something like that, then he's like, you have your side project going on as well, just in case you can't get the Avengers back together, or you need the team that powerful. It's like
that's how like originally like the comic version of Thunderbolt sort of became a thing. Yeah, but I don't know.
We'll have to see how that works out as well, because is the Thunderbolts happening at the same time as this movie? And they're the Black Ops team?
It must be happening afterwards, right? Because for something must happen between this and this for Bucky from being run for Cosmos, the whatever, to be in Thunderbolts. So something in between that's got to happen, or whatever it might happen in.
But then why would they be called the Thunderbolts still? Unless Red Hulk is also on that team.
I don't know, but then in the comics they had nothing to do with each other anyway. So
yeah. But I think they deliberately calling them the Thunderbolts because Thunderbolt Ross is something to do with them.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, look, before we at the end of this film where he got arrested and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
If it is this Black Ops team,
maybe, yeah.
He could call them the Thunderbolts because he's Thunderbolt Ross, and then my team done, But
but we'll see. Yeah, because someone's saying it to me, because that was like, but in the comics they have nothing. As one thing predates the other by like at least 30 years, but I'll say 20 years. Yeah. Wait, when did because Red Hulk became a thing like in 2008, and then I want to say Thunderbolts was like early 90s. So yeah. So we'll see. It probably.
I know in the comics they're not connected, but then again, Ultron and
Hank Pym.
Vision. No, Ultron and Iron Man aren't connected, but hey.
Yeah. Again, like I think I said before, that was a movie retcon that made more sense to me rather than the comic version. I'm Hank Pym. I'm like to do with subatomical atoms and stuff like that. But I'm gonna make a robot. I don't think they're similar. But yeah, all right, sure. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Look, some things they do make better.
Yeah.
Some things you can.
Some things are like
some things you can logically tie together.
Yeah. Some other things like, wait, you just changed it to change it. Yeah. Yeah. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to the future anyway.
All right, before we sign off.
Yes.
I was expecting a Thunderbolts trailer or a Superman trailer before this movie.
Yeah.
I got neither.
No.
I got a Daredevil trailer.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't.
Oh, okay. I got a Daredevil trailer and some other movie as well. I can't remember what it was.
I never know.
I know that, like I say, another significant movie because there was a Minecraft trailer, Minecraft movie.
Yeah,
trailer,
I got that. But
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I think I got Mission Impossible and the unit. Wait, did I see that one? Something about a unicorn, and you find out a unicorn.
Oh yeah, the murdering unicorn, whatever.
Yeah, that's the trailers I got. Yeah, but I did see it at like 8:30 in the morning. So
I also did not get a Fantastic Four trailer either,
No,
and they're all coming around the same time. So
yeah, because Thunderbolts is May, and I think Fantastic Four is like July, isn't it? June or July?
Yep. I think Superman's in June.
Yep.
And then 2 weeks later, Fantastic Four is. Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. Thought I would see it in here, but no. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it for the comic films.
Would you recommend people watch Captain America: Brave New World?
Yes, I would say go and watch it. Support Samuel Wilson and Marvel. You know, it's a good film.
I think they're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
I just think they needed a breakout hit with Sam Wilson, just to show, not that we don't need Steve Rogers, nothing like that, but just be like, this is the new Captain America.
Yeah.
And this is how high caliber his stories will be.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
it set the tone, but it didn't hit that level where you're like, Yeah. Can't wait to see the next Captain America movie.
Because I know a lot of it, and I don't really like to say it's like a lot of things I hear about as well is like, I don't see it because it's not my Captain America.
No.
Yeah, I'm like, this is how I know you don't read comics. So I'm even like, you're just, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that sentiment.
I don't find that as a good enough reason not to watch it. If you say, for example, I was just there for the conclusion of Steve Rogers' story. Fair enough.
Yeah. But to say, he can't be Captain.
Or if you said, for example, there doesn't seem to be all the phase 1, 2, or 3 were leading to something. This current phase doesn't seem to be leading to anything. So there's nothing to draw me back to watch the next Marvel movie. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah. But I don't know. But
look, it's a fine action movie.
Yeah, it's a fine action movie. It's got good characters in it. Yeah, just
good character moments. Some things are more low-key than I expected, and then some things a bit more bombastic. But hey,
but what you expect with a hand just is in the middle of the ocean, Still, I respect them for making people remember that was a thing. Yeah, and quite a clever way to introduce adamantium. But, okay, because it was. It's a random side tangent. It's like Wolverine or X-Men Origins Wolverine. Well, when they said how, because adamantium has some if I remember correct, has part vibranium in it.
Yeah, maybe you're thinking of Captain America's shield.
Yeah.
In the comics, where it's a mixture of that and that.
Yeah, I've got that wrong then, because I know. In X-Men Origins, they tried to kind of introduce vibranium, but without saying it's vibranium. A meteor hit the Earth and had this special metal one, and then we kind of took a part of that and made our own metal. Like vibranium, okay, sure.
I think there's Arctic adamantium, or am I thinking of Arctic vibranium? Anyways, there's secondary adamantium. There's vibranium and there's Arctic vibranium, which aren't the same.
Yeah.
I think Arctic vibranium was weak to sound waves. That's why Soundwave himself, not Soundwave, Claw can cause problems with it.
Yeah.
There's adamantium, and the secondary adamantium, and then they turn that adamantium back in the 60s, 70s, got dented by Thor's hammer in one case, and I think the Hulk broke it. Yeah. That wasn't real adamantium. That was knockoff secondary.
Yeah. That makes sense now. Yeah.
And Captain America's shield suddenly vibranium and adamantium bonded. That's why it's one of a kind. They can do all the crazy stuff it can do.
Because they kind of hint to it in, if I remember Captain America the film, they said, it's made of some like unknown metals, and like, okay, at the moment we can't mention vibranium, so we're gonna say it's unknown metal and another metal.
No, I think they straight up said it was made of vibranium.
Did they? You sure?
In the movie, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well,
they said vibranium is something else, so they don't know what. So I'm guessing.
Vibranium alloy or something.
Yeah. So and then maybe this is how they're gonna say, hey, it's a vibranium adamantium mix. Yay. X-Men. But we'll see. But I'm looking forward to what's come next. So I'm happy.
Yeah. That being Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
No, Thunderbolts. That being Thunderbolts.
Yeah. I'm quite interested in Fantastic Four. I want to see where that goes.
Yeah.
As it's not in the universe, but then does it lead to it being? Who knows? Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. But okay. Cool beans. Right, so I guess that's it, right?
We're also looking forward to Daredevil as well.
Yes. That's in March, isn't it? Was it May?
Wow. Okay. Maybe the first half is in March and the second half is in May.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the thing. Let me check.
Intriguing how that goes and which characters they're going to introduce, because the Punisher's definitely in it.
Yeah.
Will we see some of our other fan favorites? And will they recast Iron Fist? Which Iron Fist will it be?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because they got Danny Rand, they got Colin Wing, and they've got they don't have. I mean, in the comics they've got the new Asian Iron Fist. So.
Yeah. Who's getting taught by Danny Rand, but we'll see. I don't know. Yeah.
Even though it could be only once per generation, by the way.
Yeah, but sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. But yeah, man. Yeah, that's next March. Daredevil. So that's cool. All right. Cool.
Yeah. So all around. Yeah. Look, I can't. It's not bad, right, Captain? No. It's not bad. It's watchable.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think that the people are overblowing the how bad they think it is, or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, it's not. It's not. It's good popcorn entertainment, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's not especially deep.
No.
I don't know what the hell the leader's actual. I mean, I do know what the leader's plan was, but beyond the one bit where he's just trying to be petty to Thunderbolt Ross, is like, okay, where were you going after that? But
like I said, he just wanted to get caught. He didn't care. That's why that's why I like his plan. It wasn't world domination or anything. He was like, yeah, I'm just
like, I succeeded in what I was doing out of the power of pure spite.
Yeah, and I'm good off of that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Good, man.
I shamed him. I shamed the good. Oh, yeah. One other thing they should have had, like they could have used as some irony, is so he hulks out Thunderbolt Ross, and then obviously he's in the White House when there's military and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
They could chase and hound him for a little bit, right? And then when he de-hulks back when he's in the raft, he'd be like, "Yeah, that's what I was doing to Banner all this time, and I'm on the other side of it now."
Yeah,
I was actually quite, you know.
This is not.
I was the bad guy in that scenario all that time. I'm the dickhead.
That was not nice. Why'd I do this?
Yeah.
Oh, and Ironheart comes out this year as well, but I don't know when.
A TV?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Sweet. All right. I've got a hood in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So.
All right. So we'll sign off for this episode. Yeah. I'm the man whose brain is bigger than his skull, C.Y. Chung.
And I'm the man who woke up in a cherry blossom field in my pants, Carl Charles. Kind of happened to the Red Hulk. See, he was standing there in his pants. Yeah, weird guy. Yes, and thank you all for listening to us review Captain America: Brave New World. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell us what you thought about the film. Is he your Captain America? Because he's my Captain America. Don't forget also to give a 5-star review if you listen to this on the audio realm. Social media links are all on top of the screen. If you listen to this in the audio realm, it is down below in the description part of the podcast description thing. And yeah, until next time, guys, don't play around with a mutated man and
Double
promise him
cross him.
stuff. Yeah, promise him stuff, knowing that he's way smarter than you and can get you back. And yeah, don't never do that. And thank you for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.